Why did you decide to take a position working at an online jobs platform, helping to employ students?
I kind of didn't. It was very serendipitous. Fell into my lap. Uh, I interviewed them for about 3 weeks. And like I don't know if we talked about this last year, but I was calling myself retired as a joke because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to teach and write and live the high life. Um, and the story around MyEdu is so promising. And briefly, we have an academic set of tools that we give to students. They're free. They help them manage college, schedule planner, ratings and reviews of professors, GPA calculator, build a personal profile about yourself. And as students use those, that personal profile becomes more and more richly refined. And so you can think of it like a visual resume. And then employers can search through visual resumes to find candidates that make sense to them. And so this gives voice to an 18, 19, 20-year-old who otherwise wouldn't have a good way of saying, this is what I'm about. And so when I think about what makes a company successful, to me, it's does it drive a double bottom line? Will it drive a large amount of revenue and a large amount of impact? And MyEdu will drive a large amount of revenue. I mean, that is the game plan. It's a VC-backed company, and the goal and the expectation is that it will drive a massive amount of money, and it can't help but drive large-scale social impact because it's a jobs platform. Now, we could have some sort of large, high-level conversation around are jobs a good idea or not, and should we just escape from reality and go camping? And I'll engage in that conversation sometimes, but generally speaking, yeah, jobs are good, and people need some form of work, for all of the obvious reasons, also to feel good about themselves. And simultaneously, there are no tools for 18, 19, 20-year-old to tell their story and to get a good job. And so we talked through that as the value proposition. This was a brand new strategy for the company. It just pivoted its business, or was in the process of, when I started back in August, September. And that was super compelling to me. The other really big driver was the team. In my entire, I've reflected on this recently. In my entire career, I've never had a boss, a direct boss, that really challenged me in terms of ability. And that sounds super arrogant, and I'll take it. It's fine. But my boss right now, this guy named Frank, is one of the smartest people I've ever met. And so when we talk about what do you get out of it? Yeah, I get all the normal things you get out of it, but also I'm just learning a ton from working near him. And it's been a long time since I've been able to say this person is challenging my, the peripheries of what I think my skill set is.
What are you learning?
I'm learning all of the ways that you manage a business that's growing at the speed that we're growing. I've done startups that have failed in the early VC round and understanding raising capital. And then I've done companies that were successful and the consulting side and all of that. But I've never done this space of the sort of inside the tornado, where a company is scaling. I don't know the first thing about it. And I'm learning it. Since I've been there, we've grown tremendously. And the expectation is, hockey stick growth, for lack of a better word, which is whatever. It's neither here nor there, but the goal is massive growth. And so there's all sorts of things you do when you're trying to take a company from small to big that I've just never experienced. I've never seen it. I've never been part of it, and I don't know the first thing about it. That's not to say that I ever want to do it again. I'm not sure. But I like very much that I'm having this experience.